body's still laying there on the slab. And she's just laying there like she got knocked out. And you basically have Will Bledsoe's the one that's saying, no, I saw this on the video camera. I was watching her. I saw this dude, the astronaut. He woke up. He strangled her. And he's like, no, what the hell are you talking about? You're crazy. You know, the doctor dude's like, you know, I'm a doctor. And, you know, you should take a rest. You know, you should, take a breather. It's like, no, I know what I saw. You know, and you're like, wow, what the hell? And then it continues, the film continues with its build-up of all these weird occurrences where the girl, she's there strapped to the table, the doctor's there with her, with Alex, and basically she ends up like flipping out. She's flipping out, and the EKG's going off the freaking charts, and the doctor's looking at, oh my god, her blood pressure's over 280, you know, what the hell? And he's like, come on, what's going on here? And then out of nowhere it goes back to normal. And then the doc is all like, that's impossible. That's impossible. And he's trying to say maybe it was an embolism, maybe it was like a brain hemorrhage, maybe it was like a seizure, but to be honest, I have no idea. It's physically impossible for a human being to be able to have a heart beating like as fast as a hummingbird. It was like, wow, this film is just continuing these weird occurrences and just grab you and make you think, you know. You're like, what is going on here? What is happening? And then basically, I'm going to spoil it for you. When you end up finding out what this entity is that's screwing with this crew of Space Corps 1, it's old horned one himself. You know, the guy downstairs, if you know what I mean. So, and you basically find that it's a connection between the Bermuda Triangle, like I said, the two connections between the Bermuda Triangle and the dark side of the moon. And, you know, another title for the Bermuda Triangle that people use is also the Devil's Triangle. So it's kind of a little clever thing. I mean, this film isn't the first film to use the whole Satan and the Bermuda Triangle angle, but to also connect it into space, I thought that was really cool. And it actually predates Event Horizon by about 7 years. Now, in all honesty, if I were to choose between Event Horizon and The Dark Side of the Moon, I'd probably pick Event Horizon. But you know, this film came first, so I gotta give it its props for that. Yeah, it gets at times it does feel like a trial run for Event Horizon. So I'm wondering if Paul Anderson saw Dark Side of the Moon. I really am. I'd like to know. So basically, the rest of the film is they're trying to get the thrusters to work so they can get out of there, so they, you know, before they collide into the dark side of the moon. And more stuff happens. The astronaut guy, you find out that the guy with the triangle in him, he was the missing astronaut. You know, you find out more about the Discovery. It crash landed in you know, basically they in the Bermuda Triangle, and Flynn goes in and tries to get a relay to help, you know, basically turn on the boosters from down to the Discovery. He ends up getting basically hung by an unseen force. Then it's basically, you know, the rest of the film is sort of does a really good job creating this paranoia aspect between the last three survivors. Reminded me of The Thing, you know, and I think it did a good job. This paranoia. You have this one sequence where Will Bledsoe comes back from the ship, and the Discovery, and the doctor guy. They went on there. The doctor guy went with him too, and this is pretty much after the whole scene where Wendy, she actually ends up. Oh, not Wendy. Alex. Oh, there's a scene with her. Alex. She ends up basically somehow she got out of her straps and is acting all sexily. You know, shows some tits. And, you know, I think the film did a really good job in this scene, not showing the face of who this guy is that's basically going, trying to get some nookie, and he ends up getting, you know, her eyes go yellow pupils, and she freaks out, and, you know, the devil takes over and attacks the guy, but you don't know who it is. Because in that last shot you just see of her, she just got her chest, you see blood on her chest, like she's dead. She got triangle on her chest again. And you're like, what the hell? You know, the whole film's like the whole film is like keeping you guessing and it keeps you interested, and I really like that. The mystery really does work with this film, in my opinion. And so basically then, like I said, you had Flynn who ends up getting hung by an unseen force. You had that moment. I thought there's a really tense moment. Man, I was biting my fingernails here. It was paranoia aspect here. Joe Turkel grabs a gun. You know, basically, Will Bledsoe is the one who's like, I don't trust any of you guys. You know, and he puts a gun on him, and you know, basically, John Diehl, who's this former military guy, Philip Jennings and Joe Turkel, who is Paxton. Jennings and Paxton turn on him, turn the tables, pull the guns on him, and Jennings is like, "I'll shoot you." She's like, "You were on the ship. You were on the ship for too long. Where were you? Where were you, Giles?" You know, you're like this really kind of good paranoia. You have this tense moment where Paxton basically has the gun literally at Giles's forehead. He's about to pull the trigger, and you're like, "Ah!" And of course he doesn't. But then you end up finding out, of course, later that, you know, I'm not going to spoil that part. Okay, watch the movie and you'll see who is really, you know, who is really inhabited by Satan at the end. So basically, the end of the film consists of, you basically have one of the guys, either Jennings or Paxton, one of them gets shot, and by the doctor, and the doctor guy, you find out that he basically, I think he might have gotten possessed as well. Well, you find out there's something wrong with him immediately, because his character is allergic to cream, and then basically Giles does a smart thing and tries to basically basically put some cream in his tea to see if he can take it, and he drinks it and he has no problems with it. So you know there's something wrong with him. Then basically there's something, I guess before this you had Will Bledsoe. He went over to the Discovery to go basically, and there's this tense moment here where basically he told the rest of the crew, remaining Paxton and Jennings and the doctor, Giles told him, "Hey, give me 30 minutes to go over to that Discovery and get the relay, and if not, then blow the fucker out of the sky." He didn't really say that, but blow it up, disengage. And because basically Jennings set this up where the satellite, he was able to find a way to hack into the satellite and set it up to basically launch a missile to blow up the Discovery in 30 minutes. So basically you have this tense moment. Giles is trying to get the relay. There's something under the water. You don't know what it is. He manages to get away, but, Jennings freaks out and disengages anyway. So you have, tense moments where, Giles is hanging on for dear life in the airlock, and he ends up getting, basically let back in by the doctor. And then you have the whole thing between Paxton and Jennings, and one of them gets killed, and then you have the climax of the film where basically there's only two survivors right now at this moment: Satan and Giles. And Satan has this moment. He's like, "Well, you don't believe, you just don't stand a chance." And then he's like, all this kind of thing. And Satan's, basically saying, "I was surprised, I gave you a chance. I gave everybody a chance. Kneel before me. I give everybody a chance, to basically bow before Satan." And Giles has this badass moment. And this is part of the point where it's basically really downbeat, but I don't think the film could have gone anywhere else. I mean, the film basically showed that they could not, the relays, he got the relay back, but the ship's relays were screwed up, so there's no way he could use the relay from the Discovery to help fix this fix Space Core. So it was all fucked up. Oh, and before that, God. Before, all this suspenseful, tense moments, you have this absolutely out-of-place moment where you see a POV shot of the demon, basically Satan walking around into the room with Leslie. And let the robot, I kid you not, this is a scene that I laughed my ass off. I was almost on the floor laughing. It's just so out of place. It doesn't belong in this movie. It just seems forced. It seems like it's just a forced moment of comic relief to try to lighten the tone. And basically, the demon, Satan walks in the room and she's like, I kid you not, the robot chick, Leslie's like, she's like, "Get away from me, you motherfucker." What the hell? Come on now. I was just like, really? Did we really need that?